Thanks very much for joining us and speaking to us. And with that, viewers, we are now going to move on to the US-Iran war. In fact, latest visuals now coming in from Beirut. This video captures the aftermath of Israeli strikes on the Lebanese capital. Remember, an entire building collapsed in Beirut due to the strikes. The visuals on your screens will be there. There you see the visuals on your screens, viewers, the aftermath of the strike, clearly showing the collapsed building in Beirut. In fact, some more breaking news details now coming in. According to reports, US aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford, which has been destroyed and deployed, it has been deployed in the war with Iran, is expected to dock temporarily at the port on the Greek island of Crete after a fire was reported on board. Gerald R. Ford, which has been deployed in the war with Iran, is expected to dock temporarily at the port on the Greek island of Crete. This was after fire was reported on board there. Joining me now in this discussion is retired Major General J.K. Bansal, who's a defense expert. We are also joined in by foreign affairs expert Karoli Singh. Thanks very much to both our guests for joining us. I want to come to you first, General Bansal. Of course, the aftermath of the strikes have wreaked havoc in the Gulf states, and they've really changed the impression that the Gulf countries had of being a stable business hub or an investment hub. How long do you think it will take for these countries to return to normalcy?
Thank you, Kriti. It will take a lot of time. This is not the question of time for the repair and rebuilding of infrastructure. This is the question of faith. There was a kind of confidence and faith of various investors and people who used to think Dubai as a safe haven for their safety, for their money safety, everything. But after this attack, this has been shattered. So it will take long because Dubai was one of the model, and other countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and they were also trying to develop cities on those lines. So that will now go. It has shaken the faith, and this war has caused a lot of damage to Gulf countries, and not only Gulf countries, the whole world, because Strait of Hormuz is being seized by Iran, and no oil tanker is going. Now US has moved the ship to this vessel, which is Tripoli, and there are the 2,000 marines which will are intended plan to capture this Kharg island on which the US has bombarded, and it is being there has been news that about 5,000 pound bomber is being deployed in the state of Hormuz to destroy all the missile capability or underground missiles which Iran is having over there. And Iran is also firing. Iran has, because the Israel has killed the leader Ali Larijani and Soleimani, which was the head of Basij force. In retaliation to that, this Iran has fired missiles on Tel Aviv, causing a lot of damage, and 2 people are killed. Iran has also fired on the embassy of America in Iraq. So Iran is also firing it. But now I think Ali Larijani was a very big strategist who was controlling everything. I mean, during the time of Ali Khamenei, he was having everything, because from military planning to talking to foreign countries and participating in negotiations to everywhere he was doing. Now this decapitation will definitely cause a lot of strategic problem in Iran, and we don't know for how long the Iran will sustain. Of course, Iran says that they will keep on fighting it for 10 years, which of maybe a just rhetoric, uh, but it may not be possible. Along with that, you need to have these various infrastructures, the paraphernalia, and the support. Because once the strategic person goes, then the supply of rations or so many things are required. As such, India has sent a ship for the humanitarian aid over there. So let us see how this progress. But the situation is very bad for the
Okay.
Gulf countries. Back to you.
Right. Let's also get in a take from Mr. Karori Singh, who's there with us in the discussion here. Mr. Singh, how do you see the war progressing now in the third week? Is there any hope for a ceasefire in sight?
You see, Preeti, we can understand in which direction it is moving on the three bases. The first is, of course, West Asia is in turmoil. But what were the objectives when the war was started of different parties involved, and also the parties not involved in West Asia? The second is what is the ground zero situation today? And the third is what are the broader implications for the West Asia and the global community as a whole? And first, I must take up the ground zero situation. Probably, US did not expect that war will be such a long war. About the objectives, Israel had a clarity of objectives and goals. Israel wanted United States to get involved in this war against Iran actively and in the kinetic manner. So Israel succeeded in that. About the Iran was interested to organize and develop solidarity among the Islamic community and Islamic faith. At the same time, it was somewhat defensive in its strategy and preparing since long. And about the US, I think US hurriedly got involved. US did not plan any strategy, and even there was no clarity of the objectives. And now again, there is no strategy how to get out of this mess. So US is the loser in some way or the other. Israel is getting its objectives and goals fulfilled, and the Iran is also somewhat had a strategic clarity, so Iran is not losing that way. Of course, there is no comparison of the might and strength of United States, Israel, and Iran. Iran is very weak militarily in terms of technology, economically, and Iran will lose most of the battles. But I think, considering the Iran's strategy, Iranian civilization, ultimately, Iran will emerge as the winner of the war, not only US and Israel.
Okay.
And all the more thing is the West Asian other countries, they are in dilemma. First, when the Iran strike them, of course, Iran's perception was that Iran is striking just American interests, American bases, not the brotherly countries. But of course, that there was some collateral damage, and some of the civilian places were also hit. So the Middle East and the West Asian countries went to the United States and UN General UN Security Council. And now the Saudi Arab has called a meeting of the foreign ministers of the other West Asian countries how to deal with the situation. Because their dilemma is, on the one side, there is the Israeli-Palestinian, so they are on the side of Palestine by and large. So they don't want to go to the Israeli side. But at the same time, they are ally of the United States. And United States provided them a security umbrella as well as contributed to their prosperity. So they want to remain on the Israel or American side. At the same time, they don't want to come in confrontation with the Iran. So they are still in dilemma. And all the more, General Saab might be knowing better, in the war-like situation, there are certain covert operations, false flag operations, and sometimes there are reports that the Israel and US, they are planting and they are striking the West Asian countries, including Turkey and Cyprus. on the name, on the side of Iran, they are giving such feeling that Iran is striking these countries. So what type of false flag operations and coveted operations are taking place? That is more important, because both US and Israel, they want that all the West Asian countries should come together against the Iran, and they are very reluctant. And the last point is US failed to consult its allies when the war started, and that is why the allies, even the NATO members, they are reluctant to get involved against Iran, and they have refused. When President Trump requested these countries, Trump also requested China to come to the
Yes.
Hormuz state.
Mr. Singh, hold your thoughts there. There are some more breaking news updates coming in.